told me that I had anxiety and depression from being gay. I have anxiety and depression because I'm gay.
The Young and Social Podcast. It's where we talk about the nitty and gritty, the funny and dummy, the real, the fake, the snakes, and the plates. That's what we talk about. We talk about any and everything on this podcast because remember what my dude said last time, because we young and social. And we come out here to do this and talk about crazy things and topics for you. So, today, I'm going to talk about something. Before I say that, remember, like, subscribe, and comment. And make sure you turn on that thumb bell notification so you can get notifications when we post on this podcast, okay? So, yesterday, I asked a couple of my friends on Instagram, hey, I'm going to be talking about LGBTQ plus community, about my coming out story and stuff like that, and stuff that happened to me as coming out, stuff I've been through, things I've been through, stuff that some people many don't know, but I'm putting my life out there on the goddamn internet, so you gonna hear about it one way or another. So it's better coming from me than coming from anybody else, because first of all, I know they don't know my story, the better I know my story. And it's always two sides to the story. So today I'm gonna tell you mine. Alright, my friend asked me to do your coming out story. I'm gonna do my coming out story. I hope I do not throw anybody's name out there that I'm not supposed to throw out there. I'm not gonna try to put nobody's name out there because that's their business. This is my business. I'm gonna put my business out there, my side, but I don't want to put nobody else's business out there. So today, this is my coming out story. So, I was like a sophomore, and I was like, feeling women. So I was in high school, playing on the basketball team and stuff like that, and I kind of just been liking girls since I was like in the third grade. Like really, I was over there tomboyishing out, wearing gym shorts, tank tops, little shirt, whatever, and the zigzag Reeboks at the time back then. But I used to be running with the guys chasing the girls around the park, if you know what I mean. So that's how I knew. At first, I had a crush on my teacher when I was in middle school. And golly, boy, she was fine. I ain't even the only one that was like, man, she fine. Everybody else knew she was fine. I ain't gonna throw no names out there, but if anybody went to a Daresville middle school and know who I'm talking about, then please put the name in the description. I ain't gonna put the names out there, no, and I ain't gonna tell nobody. So, with that being said, moving on to high school, I feeling kind of got like a little feel, and I was playing on this travel ball team at the time. And these girls used to come up to me and be like, "Yo, are you gay? You like girls?" And I'm like, I don't know what I want. I don't know what I like. I used to just tell them that I don't know you like that, so I'm not finna come out and tell my personal business. But at the time, I ain't even came out to my mom. So it's like, how am I going to tell you? And then I ain't tell my mom yet. Because when did she find out? And then boom. You never know what can happen. So I didn't tell them. Time go on. I start messing with this girl or whatever. And I was like, I kind of like her or whatever. But then I kept playing with her feelings and playing with my feelings. I didn't know what I was wanting. I didn't know if I wanted her. At that time, I was just confused. I was going through a lot of stuff. I didn't know what I could do. I didn't know what I could say. Your first little crush, you don't know what to do. Like, I was just like, okay, I got me a little crush. Let's see what's going to happen. So I was like, okay, let's see how this goes. So I finally got her and asked her out to be my girlfriend or whatever. At the time, me and my friend and her boyfriend had went out to go bowling or whatever, and I took her back to her house afterwards, and we kind of just went to the cul-de-sac in her neighborhood, and then boom, we did the nasty. So you know what that means. We did the nasty. Okay, see, that was nice. That was good. I was like, my first time. Okay, that looked good. I like this. I like how she did this. I like the pleasure of what I was feeling. I like the pleasure of what I was given. It was just like, boom. That's when I was like, okay. I ain't confused. I know exactly what I want. And I really didn't know exactly what I wanted. But then I started having this friend. We started hanging out all the time, and then rumors started going around and stuff like that, and it was just crazy. My mom used to always, since I was like in middle school, 7th, 8th grade, she was like, say, do you like girls or boys? I used to be like, mama, I like boys. Man, no, I didn't. But my mama knew. She already knew. As the older I got, she was like, Zaya, you ain't even had to come out to me because I already knew. I don't care what you said. I already knew. You're right. You already knew. You saw I was over there getting in the cutty. So I was like, she kept asking me. I was like, okay, whatever. We got in an argument, a big argument. We was yelling, all this, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, you know what? And that's why I'm gay. And I walked downstairs to my room, and she was like, I know, like yelling back, like, I know. And I was like, okay. And so like, boom, I came out. That's really what just happened. I just came out. And my mom was just like, I know. Okay, it wasn't that big of a deal. I came out. But then I was sitting downstairs in my room. I get a text message from my mom. You can't have any more girls over, nothing like that. I'm like, first of all, I'm a whole female. I have friends that are girls. So my first instinct is to take it back. No, I'm not gay. I'm just playing. I'm not gay. I'm just playing. Whatever. She was just like, whatever, Zay, whatever. Anyways, a year passed by, and I ended up getting in my first relationship. Oh God, my first relationship. I was probably a junior. I got my first relationship. My mom saw me bring her home. She didn't say nothing. My mama could say all this stuff, but she didn't care. So I had my girlfriend over. And I had my first girlfriend around the age of 16, 17, I think so. And this is when it gets all nitty and gritty. So, I am 21, about to be 22. I've only lived on this earth for almost 22 years. I've only had 2 girlfriends, my current one and obviously my ex. So, my first girlfriend that I had is blah, 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 my ex. So, I don't want to say nobody names. I'm not bashing nobody on here. I'm just coming on here to tell my story, tell my side, tell you my coming out story, telling you my girlfriend, like my first girlfriend experience, telling you all that. So, when I first got my first girlfriend, it was straight. Everything that happened back then, met at a football game, ended up hanging out because we had friends in the same kind of clique at the time, and we ended up start kicking it. So then, at the time, my mom is really always accepting me for who I am. And she doesn't care. She loves me regardless. So is my mom, my granddad, my grandmother, my other grandmother, my dad, my whole family. They don't care because they know at the end of the day they love me regardless. I haven't changed besides what I want to fuck and who I'm going to fuck. And it don't bother them because they're not doing the fucking. So they actually really just don't care. They love me regardless, and that is what it is. But I want to tell people this. And me and my girlfriend had this talk last night, and we were talking about coming out. And I was like, what is such the big deal of coming out? But I do know the big deal of coming out. Because coming out back then, and still now to this day, nobody knew your sexual orientation unless you told them. Or unless you showed up with another, a boy showed up with a boy or a girl showed up with a girl, or you told them what you like. So my mom always asked me, did I like girls and boys? And I get where they're coming out now, because you have to come out and tell them, because right now in our society it's just not a normal to just be able to walk up with your girlfriend or your boyfriend or whatever and be like, hey mom, this is my girlfriend, and she just know you're gay. Like if I was straight and I walked up with a guy, they would not question it. Okay, you're straight. So I feel like there's no need to come out. It's just like accept me. When you see me walk up with a girl, you know I'm gay. You know I'm like girls. But honestly, if you bisexual, then you tell them you bisexual. Because you could walk up with a guy one day, but then walk up with a girl and then they confused. But at the same time, they not confused because they should know. You like girls and boys. You done brought home both two genders. You like girls and boys. Or you brought home one gender, you like girls. You brought home another, you like boys. And it should be that simple, in my honest opinion. But in this day right now, we Still got some work to go, and it just ain't that simple to be a norm in our society yet. But I got my first girlfriend at the time when I was 17, and it just went downhill from there. Not really downhill because I'm so used to getting accepted by my friends and my family and stuff like that. But at the time, her family really just didn't accept me for who I am. Didn't want her dating a girl at the time. Didn't want her dating a girl at all. And it kind of threw a lot of stress on a relationship as a person and as a couple. It's like, why do we stand together if your family doesn't accept it? After a while, I'm not going to put it on her whole family. Some of her family was actually cool about it. Some of her family just wasn't. And it was just kind of hard to be in a relationship with someone whose family did not accept me. And it made it stressful. It made it toxic. It made me toxic. It made her toxic. So it was so much toxic in that relationship and around outside of our relationship that just pushed it to just be what it was. And things happened because of that. And things that happened to me because of that. I went through a lot of trauma, not only in my life, but with my past relationships. And it's just like, you can only take so much, you can only give so much, and some people will still not accept you in this world. And it's hard to make someone accept you when they know, when they just can't, when they just don't want to. Honestly, they can accept you. They just don't want to accept you. Because some people have this mentality, especially older people, moms, dads, grandmoms, granddads, have this mentality of the Bible. The Bible is what they go by. And to me, honestly, I've never had that problem in my household. We are a God-loving family. I've went to church with my whole family since I was a little kid. Eventually, I switched churches and went to another church. But no matter where I went, I was a God-loving family. We're a God-loving family. My granddad never judged me. Mom never judged me. Nobody ever judged me. But when I saw judgment firsthand from someone that wasn't even my family, but they had their own opinion to judge me, and they can judge me all they want. But it's just like, I really had someone else judging me from the outside in. When you're not in my inner circle, you're not my family, but I had someone judging me from the outside in, and it put a lot of stress on me. It put a lot of stress on my family, especially my family. My mom and my granddad had to watch me go to jail for literally grabbing someone by their arm. And it makes it crazy because my granddad, the way I came out to my granddad was the judge was literally like, "Hey, Zay, is that your girlfriend?" I'm like, "No, it's my ex-girlfriend." And my granddad was just back there shook because I had to come out with him in that way. And I never got the chance to really actually come out to my granddad in the way I wanted to, but I came out. Ever since then, he never said anything. The girl I have now, my girlfriend, he loves her. He says hey to her. Let's just keep in mind, my granddad is really just a mellow person. He don't even barely speak to me as it is, but it's my best friend, and he loves my girlfriend. He says hey to her. He takes us everywhere. He gives us what we need. He's my granddad. He loves me. Let's just put it like that. He loves my girlfriend. He's a supporter. So same as my mom. They joke around, everything. They get along. And to get in a relationship that I am in now, where it's healthy, her family accepts me, it's an open bond between the both of us and her family and my family and vice versa, and it makes the relationship so much healthier when you have people around you that it's feeding good energy into y'all, but also into you. So they're feeding their energy into you, and also you're just receiving it, and you feel so much better and so much light, so much healthier. And having people around you who support you and who love you no matter what is a big deal in a relationship. If you was to date someone and your parents didn't like, it would put a lot of stress on you. Even if you didn't realize it at the time, it will, because then you have your parents bashing your girlfriend or boyfriend at the time, and they're just like, they don't like them, and you just have to sit there and hear it. And if you don't sit there and hear it, then it pulls a strain on you and your parents' relationship, and it pulls a strain on that, and then it's either your family or your girlfriend or boyfriend at the time. And honestly, love blinds a person. It blinds a person. It really does. So either you're gonna choose your girlfriend or boyfriend at that time because you were really and truly blinded by love, and it's gonna drive a wedge between you and your family that is so hard to repair. I'm not gonna say that it's irreplaceable. Like, it is. It's a bond with your family. It's irreplaceable. But that wedge is gonna take so much to close that gap to get back to where y'all was, because it was a wedge driven. Like, your parents should always be there to support you and support who you're dating, even if they don't like them. They can give that opinion if they don't like them, but bashing someone, telling if my mom was to sit here and tell me that it was something wrong with my girlfriend and something that she needed to fix and something that's all like this, and she has mental problems and she's bipolar and stuff like that, that would be a shitty ass mom. To tell me that about my girlfriend, to drive a wedge between me and my mom, and a wedge between me and my girlfriend. If my mom did that, it would literally drive a wedge between us all. But that is probably the worst experience I've ever experienced, coming out gay and, lesbian or whatever. Just experiencing something that I've never really experienced my whole life taught me a lesson to, like, know that not everyone is going to accept you. But honestly, the people that love you should be the ones that accept you. Should always be the ones that are standing by your side, that is your number one supporter. And it taught me a lesson that my family is my number one supporters, and they're always there to accept me. And with my new girlfriend and her beautiful ass, her family is so fucking accepting, bruh. Like, they are just accepting, they're warm, they're loving. And that is the best lesson I could learn from some family. Someone, especially from the outside in, just loving and caring and helping us build a relationship and keep it moving. So, like, yeah, everyone goes through bad coming out stories. Everyone goes through bad relationships and stuff like that. And that is my experience. And I don't know what everyone else's experiences is. But just know, straight, gay, bisexual, lesbian, transgender, queer, not everyone is going to accept you. And that's okay. But your real ones, you will know. When they accept you, your real ones, you'll know who they are. And that's on everything. So I got another question from someone, and they said, were you scared to come out? Honestly, I was so terrified to come out. And it's crazy because my mom isn't even like that person. Like, I have gay family members and all that stuff, and she never even spoke bad on them or anything like that. She loves them. She hang out with them and everything, and I seen them on the daily in my life growing up. And I was just like, okay, but she don't care about them, but when does she care about me? Like, just that anxiousness of, like, feeling like you're hurting someone and, like, they're not gonna accept you or something like that. It scared me. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. And honestly, coming out in that fight was probably the only way I probably would have came out, or unless just brung a girl home and she figured it out herself. But that would probably have been the only time I would have came out to my mom in that fight and heated a moment, because I said what I needed to be said and I got my point across, and at the end of the day, she still accepted and loved me. So yes, I was scared to come out, but at the same time, it all worked out at the end for me, honestly. And then somebody else asked me, what was your first gay encounter? My first gay encounter, I guess when I was, like, playing basketball with my travel ball team, I really caught feelings for this girl, and it kind of just threw me over my head because I didn't know what to expect and stuff like that, and I just did not know, like, how to handle it in the heat of the moment, or really in the moment in general, because, like, we would be texting and stuff like that, and, like, I loved that shit. Like, it was interesting. It made me want to, like, text her more and stuff like that, but, like, My first gay encounter was with actually a straight girl, and as we know, all straight girls, I'm not gonna say that because that's stereotypical, but you know what I mean. Anyways, all straight girls end up either messing with just you or not messing with you at all, really. But I end up cutting that one off actually just because I was dumb and young back then, and I had no mentality to be in a relationship, honestly. I was focusing on basketball and stuff like that, so I didn't even want to keep entertaining someone that I known that I would not even dealt with in the next 2 years after that, or a year or 6 months, and probably hung out with her after that anymore. And as we see, I do not. So I want to say like my first encounter with a gay girl, though, golly, when I think about it now, I think I've only had one encounter with an actually girl that's already out the closet, told me straight up that she was gay, that she liked women and everything. Other than that, my last few encounters have only been with straight girls, and I've always got fucked over by them. But other than that, my girlfriend that I am with now, she is lesbian, and she actually told me that she was lesbian. Like, even before I started dating her and talking to her, when we were friends, she told me, so I knew. And honestly, that's my first really gay encounter with a lesbian girl, was my girlfriend at the time now. And I think I'm gonna take that as a good thing, honestly, because this is probably the healthiest relationship I've been in, for one, and it was kind of like my first gay encounter, for two. Alright, we back. So someone asked me, how did you know you were gay? As I said, I was like in the 3rd grade, and I knew I liked females literally by chasing them around the playground with guys, trying to hit on them and trying to kiss them. And I think I had my first little girl kiss in like the 5th grade. I don't remember who it is, but honestly, I've kissed so many people, like so many women. I've kissed so many, if I'm being honest. When I was in high school, I used to just walk around kissing girls for no reason. And then I had this thing on my stories, like on Snapchat. I used to go around and just kiss everyone. For my birthday, got like 20 kisses in one day just for my birthday, or just wanting to kiss somebody. But like, my first kiss was like in the 5th grade with a girl, and ever since then I've been kissing all my friends. Literally, ever since then I've been kissing all my friends that are girls, just out of the fun of it. And that's literally how I knew I was gay. It was like 3rd grade, and I was chasing girls around, and then I had my first kiss with a girl in 5th grade, and that's how I knew. But it did come a time where I had to play it off. I started dating this guy in like the 5th grade. It was the 5th grade. I started dating this guy in the 5th grade, and I hated that shit. But my mom was so happy. so I was like, I love him, I like him. Knowing damn well I did not want to be with him. But shit, it didn't work out no way, and I knew it wasn't gonna work out no way. But I had to play it off. My mom was happy, anything to make her happy. When I got older, I was like, man, fuck that. I'm finna get me some boy, and I'm gonna keep it moving. You accept me or not, that's how it's gonna go. Okay, so I got another question. What is your turn on and turn off? My turn on and turn off is like being loved, really. Having affection. Any affection you giving, you turning me on. Okay, being rude, being disrespectful, unkind, that's a turn off. I really don't have no turn on, turn off. Like, shit, I'm gonna get it with whatever I'm doing. Like, shit, you sitting there, I'm turned on. You rubbing my hair, I'm turned on. You rubbing my thigh, I'm turned on. Anything you doing, I'm turned on. You can call me baby and I'll be on the way to the room. It's like that. I don't really have no turn ons and turn offs, but like being disrespectful and stuff like that is really like a major turn off. Like, I wouldn't even want to come up to you in a club and talk to you if you disrespectful. Not only to me, but other people I see, I observe. I could be sitting back and you think I'm not paying attention, but I'm definitely listening, I'm definitely looking at your body movement, and I can tell when somebody disrespectful. I get a vibe off of somebody, I feel bad energy, I don't want it. I keep it away. It's just like that. And then someone asked me, what's your opinions on threesome? Okay, opinions on threesome. It gotta be girl, girl, girl. It gotta be 3 girls. Girl, girl, girl. Can't be no girl, boy, girl. It gotta be girl, girl, girl. And I even told my girl, if we ever had a threesome, it gotta be a film. Like, I'm sorry, it just got to. It can't be no stud dressed like me, because then I'm probably gonna get a little jealous. But then she said the same thing. She was like, it gotta be a film. No, she said it gotta be a stud if we have a threesome, because then she get jealous. Oh no, we ain't never gonna have no threesome then, because that's how I feel. If I don't get 2 films, then I don't want it, because I just like feminine women. So for me to have a threesome with one feminine and then a masculine woman like me, I wouldn't like it, and I probably wouldn't even do it. So that's how I feel about threesomes. Give me 2 films and I'll do it. Give me a film and a stud and I will not do it. That's basically how it is.
Okay, camera died on this one, so we're gonna try this again. Alright, so other questions I be getting asked is, how do you have sex with a girl? And if you ain't watched porn yet, you stupid. Go look it up on porn. Look up lesbian porn. Like, really? How do I have sex? How does a girl make you finish? The same way a guy makes you finish. Or anybody else. People ask the most ignorant questions. That's literally a question I got asked. How do I have sex with a girl? I mean, the same way you have sex with a guy. Oh, wow. How do you do that? With toys? With a dildo? Like, really? You really finna ask me that? People be asking the craziest things. I swear, like you ain't never had nobody in your friend group or anybody in your family that is gay. Or even looked up porn, lesbian porn, to see how I have sex. Why would you type that in when you could have just looked that up? Like, that's about the most, I ain't gonna be rude, but that's a dumb question to ask somebody that's gay. I feel like it's disrespectful. What you mean how I have sex? You know how I have sex. Everybody used to joke around about it. That's how I used to have sex. That's how, like, really, bro? You know how I have sex. So another question is, people ask, could it be a phase? Nah, I'm 21 now, and I still been doing the same thing I was doing since 3rd grade, so I don't think it's a phase, dog. Not at all, but, you know, you can think what you want to think. I ain't even gonna cap. Some people on my Instagram is real childish, and they real slow. They feel like they ain't lived in our generation and lived this life, and they ask that question. It's like, golly, do you even look on YouTube for real? Like, really, bro? I think I have, like, in my experience, in my small town that I grew up in, I've really never personally heard somebody just be right out disrespectful about my sexual orientation, but I definitely don't doubt that they have been disrespectful, not in my face, but behind my back. My town's pretty small and pretty close-minded. And one time I went to this church at the time, and the pastor was literally trying to tell me that I had anxiety and depression from being gay. I have anxiety and depression because I'm gay. And that's what you're telling me. So if you're straight, you can't get anxiety or depression. That is why the LGBTQ plus community has a bad rep when it comes to churches. Not even they have a bad rep. A church has a bad rep when it comes to LGBTQ plus community. Because of stuff like that. Just not being able to accept someone for who they are. Not being able to just love someone and not judge someone. Because if I read the Bible correctly, and which I have read it, the one word you can pick out of everything in that Bible is love. And you shall not judge. And as you sitting here and judging me for what I do on my time, and what I like on my time, and what I love on my time, and who I fuck on my time, which is the crazy thing. People from the church sit here and judge you. And I'm going to say every person from a church judges you, but in my small town, they are judging you. I walk through the door. They're not judging me at first, because first of all, they think I'm a whole guy when I walk through the door. Especially with my cut that I have, like the haircut that I have, they definitely think I'm a guy. That's any place I go. But when I open my mouth and I sound like a female, my voice is not as deep as they thought it was going to be, they're judging me right off the top of their head. They make a face, or they call me sir out of disrespect. Some people, I'm not going to say that they're being disrespectful, because if I saw me, I would probably say sir too. But some people do it out of disrespect, and especially in the churches where I get it the most. When I went and talked to that pastor that night, and I just wanted to have a conversation about my mental health, the relationship at the time that I was going through, and stuff like that. The pastor told me that I was depressed and had so much anxiety because of me being a lesbian. And he got so deep in my head that night, I went to my girlfriend at the time, and I broke up with her just because of that. You know what I told her mama, just to make her mom happy, just so her mom would not have to even worry about me anymore, because, you know, in that church that I went to, they were so tight and they were so closed-minded that it was just like, you know what, I'm going to say this and you're going to get off my back. I told her mom, I was like, I'm not gay anymore. I'm going to try to date a guy, and hopefully, you know, it works out. And she looks at me dead in the eye and says, I'm so proud of you. I hope everything works out. What? My town, I'm not putting anyone in a category, and I don't want to put anyone in a group, but most of the encounters I've had in my town are good. Most of them are disrespectful and ignorant and close-minded. I could tell one of my friends that I'm gay. Next 5 minutes, the whole town knows. And it's just that simple. My church growing up, the church that I actually grew up in, actually I never even came out. Actually, I don't even know if they knew I was gay, but the way I dressed, I'm pretty sure they knew. But I never had any experience it. But I went to a church, probably at the age of 17. And it was a different church, and I felt like I got judged every time I walked through the door. My family, that I consider family, which is, love her to death. She was like a grandmother to me, like a little grandmother to me. And she went to church every Sunday. She was there every Sunday as much as she could be there. And I went with her and her family because they were considered to me as my family. I've known them since I was a kid. And for me to never even have to come out to her, for me to just tell her that someone was my girlfriend and she accepted me right off the back and never judged me, was the best feeling I've ever had. Even my own grandmother, yes, she's accepting now, but back then she was not accepting, my own grandmother. But even then, I had someone that wasn't my family and accepted me and loved me for who I was. She never judged me or anything like that. And at the time when I was dating someone, she did not like him, and she told me straight up, and I understood why, because I was going through things at the time, and things was just not going our way. It just wasn't. And she saw that, and she wanted me to be happy, and I made a promise to her that I'm going to stick by to this day, that it's just I love who I love, and I will never change that for anyone. And I won't, if you only could take one advice with you today, and anyone in the LGBTQ plus community can take one advice, is love who you love, be who you want to be, and be happy. Because at the end of the day, anyone that's around you judging you and not loving you the way you should be loved and treated like a human being, it won't matter. Because we all have a death date, and we're all going to be off this world one day, and nobody is going to remember what they said to us, and we're not going to remember what they said to us. So honestly, take it as a grain of salt. Keep living your life, live it to the fullest. Don't let anyone tell you differently, that you are perfect, you are worth it. And we are human beings just like anyone else in this world. We love who we love, and we treat people with kindness just the same way as everyone else should be treated. So if you don't take anything else with you today, take that with you. That is one advice someone told me. Once you're down in the dirt, who's going to care what they said? You're not. But live right. Treat others the way you would want to be treated. Be positive. Live life. And love yourself and love thy neighbor. And I promise you, you get that through your head, ain't nobody going to stop you from being what you want to be, doing what you want to do, and loving who you want to love. So, that is the end of my podcast today. That is my trials and tribulations of going through what I went through, the good, the bad, the ugly, the crazy things, all that. So this is Young and Social Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching me, listen to me talk about my coming out experience, my first gay encounter, all that, my first crushes and stuff like that. So thank you for tuning in. Remember to like and subscribe. Do it again. Thank you for tuning in to Young and Social. Listen to me talk about my LGBTQ plus life experience, what I went through, the good, the bad, the ugly, the trials, the tribulations, whatever you want to put and take out of it. Thank you for listening. Remember to like and subscribe. Hit that thumb bell notification so you get notifications every time we post on the podcast. And thank you for tuning in.